Thank you. Welcome to Leadership Speak, an advanced Toastmaster Club for leadership development. We are one of the top 5 clubs globally. My name is usually Joseph, your sergeant at arms of the meeting today. At Leadership Speak at Toastmasters, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Leadership Speak is the premier club for experienced Toastmasters to become better self-directed leaders. We are an advanced club focused primarily on leadership development in everything we do. Our timer has a virtual hand raised, so we all can immediately see who is keeping the time. Ladies and gentlemen, our Toastmaster of the day is no one else than our club president, Holmes Teng. He is with us here at Leadership Speak. He is from Singapore and he is a project manager. Help me warmly welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Teng. The lead is yours.
Thank you so much, Yusli. Hello and welcome, members and guests, to today's meeting. Especially our guest. Welcome so much. Leadership Speak is so happy to have you. In a short moment's time, a guest book will be posted in the Zoom meeting chat. And my dear guest, I welcome you. I encourage you. Please, sign up the guest book. Let us know you are here. And toward the end of the meeting, we will connect with you. We will speak with you. Enjoy the meeting. Today's meeting is about leading from within. At Leadership Speak in recent weeks, we have had a few weeks of examining concepts like self-awareness. And this leads on very nicely together to find out that as leaders, innately and inherently, we are human, and there is something inside us that can be developed, that can be nurtured, that can be harnessed so that we become better leaders. Or, in Leadership Speak context, I should say, to become a better self-directed leader. It is with this mindset that each of us have things within us that we can develop, that we have this club. We have this club that brings around over 60 members from approximately 30 countries together, week after week. We have trainers for each of the roles. We have speeches and evaluators perform at standards far higher than most community clubs. We expect collaboration, self-initiated collaboration between people. And at the root of all this must come with an intrinsic motivation. Each of us here are here first as the guest, because we want to develop our leadership skills. And then we become a member, committing ourselves. Some of us, even to 3 meetings a week, 2 trainings, or even more, with the smaller mentoring, smaller coaching sessions, smaller connection sections, so that we indeed, through our practice, through our experience, become better self-directed leaders. And members and guests, I invite you, as we go through the meeting today, as we listen to the educational keynote as well as the speeches, consider and reflect what is within you as you lead. What does it mean to you to lead from within? With that, I shall start the meeting with a series of speeches. Firstly, with the toast. Our toast will be delivered by distinguished Toastmaster Buhari Sayed. He holds a bachelor's degree in economics from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, and an executive MBA from Quantic School of Business and Technology, Washington, D.C. He's certified in agricultural finance and Islamic microfinance by the Frankfurt School of Finance and Management, Germany. With over a decade of experience in banking and education, he has demonstrated strong leadership, strategic thinking, and organizational transformation. As a DTM and an accomplished public speaker, he also holds a green belt in Shotokan Karate, enjoys non-fiction reading, and lives by the philosophy, no risk, no reward. DTM Buhari, let us have your toast.
Thank you, the Toastmaster of the day. Leadership does not begin with position or applause. It begins with a commitment and being self-directed. In a way, being deliberate in whatever you do. But then, you cannot give what you don't have. If there is no clarity inside, then there will be no impact. Leading from within means you choose your values and guiding principles to be self-directed and holding yourself accountable before asking others to do the same. Each of us carry a light, and that light grows when we are disciplined, honest, and intentional about what we do. Intentional about growth, intentional about leading, and intentional about setting a record and a pace. This light makes us stronger, not to compete, but serves as a guiding compass for us to leave a legacy that one day everyone will feel the impact of it. Leadership is not about control. It is about direction. When we lead ourselves well, then the natural attributes of a leader follows us. Leadership Speak as a club is a testament to these and wherever we do in our day-to-day meetings. From trying to equip ourselves with skills to help our fellow members to be that leader, be that speaker who they want to be. And as such, Leadership Speak embodies that aspect of each and every one of us building himself first before aspiring to build others. As it is said, brick by brick, we shall build. Ladies and gentlemen, Fellow Toastmasters and our esteemed guests, please unmute your mic and let us have a toast to this fantastic and eloquent team for today's meeting. Unmute your mics and turn on your videos. Let's raise a glass to leading from within. To leading from within.
Leading
from
within.
The leader from within.
Thank you. And back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, DTM Buhari. Next, I'd like to invite some of our meeting support role takers to introduce their roles. First up, we have our timer, Angela Brown. And Angela says that leading from within reminds us that true leadership begins with self-awareness, values, and integrity before it's ever seen by others. Let us have Angela Brown on the stage to introduce the role of the timer.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. My name is Angela Brown. I will be your timer for today. I shall be recording the times for all the role players as according to the agenda. After each section, I will post them to the chat box. I will post green, yellow, or red at the appropriate time. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Angela. Next, we have our grammarian, distinguished Toastmasters Nukawe Koski. Nukawe is an environmental sustainability specialist by profession. She believes that great leaders lead from within without a need to be pushed, but driven by inner drive that withstand life's adversities. Let us have Nukawe's word of the day. Over to you, DTM Nukawe.
Mr. Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and our dear guests, be greeted. I'm Nukawe Nkosi. As a grammarian for this meeting, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully their language usage. I'll be taking notes throughout the meeting on all outstanding words, codes, sayings, and thoughts. As a grammarian, it is also my responsibility to introduce the word of the day. The word of the day is intent, which is an adjective. It means a determination to do something. An example where this word can be used is the president's intent is to develop to a self-directed leader. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, during the meeting, called upon to give my report. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, DTM Nukawe. Members and guests, leading from within. Intent. What is your intent when you saw the Leadership Speak advertisement? What came to your mind when you first heard of the term Leadership Speak? What has drawn you in? A personal sharing. I came to Toastmasters with a very clear idea that this is an organization that how much I get out of it is very much based on how much I put into it. And this includes finding a community of people that are equally or more driven than myself, so that we, as a positive social community, drive growth, drive each other ahead. For me, leadership speak is not only just one of the top 5, if not the top club. Having obtained 3 years in consecutive as best club of the year from District 86 in 3 categories: the overall best, the education, as well as membership. The core of leadership speak is the spirit, is what each member brings from within as they come to the club, as they come to each meeting, as they come to each training and coaching session. Hence, guests, as you're observing us today, I strongly encourage you to also consider, is there a club that is able to push you in terms of your leadership speak? And might leadership speak just be the right one for you? Guests, especially for those who have joined a little later, in a short moment's time, the guest book will be posted in the Zoom chat. I strongly encourage all of you, do sign up on the guest book. Let us know you're here. Let us know a little bit about you. Let us have some feedback from you. And toward the end of the meeting, we can connect a little bit more. Now, without further ado, I'm about to welcome the educational speaker, our educational keynote for today, DTM Irfan Farooqui. And he will be evaluated by a fellow distinguished Toastmaster, Tony Brashet. I'd like to invite Tony to introduce Irfan's project. DTM Tony, over to you.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, today's presentation is the Pathways Level 5 project. Prepare to speak professionally. The intent of this project is for the speaker to deliver an extended keynote-style speech that satisfies 3 criteria. 1, to engage the audience in a 18 to 22-minute presentation. 2, to demonstrate professional level delivery skills. And 3, to convey a compelling message with clarity and impact. Our speaker has chosen a powerful and thought-provoking theme. Irfan has explained to me what the theme is, and he has asked that I evaluate the performance in delivering that theme to the audience, to you, which satisfies those 3 criteria. Therefore, as an evaluator, my intent is not to evaluate the theme itself, no, but it's to evaluate the speaker's ability to meet the objectives of the Pathway Project, which is to speak professionally. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, DTM Tony. DTM Irfan.
Please give me the rights to share.
Give me a moment, Irfan.
Yeah.
Let me just introduce you first. Irene, I'll trouble you to make Irfan one of the co-hosts or to give him the sharing rights. DTM Irfan Farooqui. Wow, he's a very experienced Toastmaster, but today his chosen introduction is simply a storyteller who loves the philosophy of life in the stories. Irfan Farooqui, the journey within. The Journey Within, Irfan, Farooqui. Over to you.
I request timer to please virtually raise the hand so that he remains on the top. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, about 900 years ago in Persia, there was a Sufi poet by the name Fariduddin Attar. Attar has written a masterpiece by the name originally as Mantakut Tayr and translated as Conference of the Birds. 900 years have gone, and when I read his book very recently again, I found out today in 2025, there are still lessons that we can learn. Today, I would like to share with you the extracts that I have learned from this book relating to leadership. The intent may be something different, can be seen from various angles, but the reality is there is a lot to learn from Attar. Let's dive into Attar's story and find out what can we learn about leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, the story begins with a narration that the birds of the world once they gathered in a jungle, various species, various types of birds, from smaller to larger. They had one problem in mind, and that one problem was that they have problem, but unfortunately, they don't find a leader that can solve their problem. They gathered there with only one voice, with one slogan, with one intention. We need a leader. And they say every species, they all have their leaders who guide them, who help them, who solve their problems. But unfortunately, we don't have a leader. We don't have a king. We don't have a ruler. We don't have a mentor. We don't have a guider. Listening to this story, one intelligent bird, Poo-Poo, raised to a branch of the tree and told the audience, "Dear fellow birds, it is not so that we don't have a leader. We do have a king. And I assure you, there is a king, and his name is Seymour. Seymour is our king, an intelligent and know everything king, somebody who is able to help us and guide us for our problem. He is the real king. Unfortunately, the king lives far, far away. And if we intend to see him, meet him, ask for the guidance, unfortunately, we have to cross 7 valleys to reach to him. But I assure you, Seymour is our king, and he is there. Listening to this thing, all the birds were very happy. Oh, they relaxed. They felt, yes, thanks God, we have a king. Let's go there. Let's fly to our king. Let's meet him and let's ask him, please come and solve our problems. Please. So all the birds agreed. And they said, yes, fly. Let's cross those 7 valleys and let's reach to our king. Toastmasters, the first valley that they reached was known as Wadi Talab, a valley of quest. This was a valley. When they reached there, some of the birds started feeling we have problems. For instance, the nightingale said, I am so deeply in love with Rose, I can't leave my Rose. It's not possible for me to live without my Rose. How can I travel so far away from my Rose? I'm sorry, it's not possible. The duck said, I live again with close to a pond. Water is my life. I can't leave my water. I'm sorry. Not possible for me to travel so far away from water. I can't do it. And the peacock said, I'm so beautiful. This travel will destroy me, will finish my beauty. Ladies and gentlemen, all the birds had problem. Some of them started narrating their issues. All those words, as leaders, do they not look very heard of words? Haven't you heard these things in your life? Whenever, as a leader, somebody is going to start a new project, taking to a new destination, there are people who initially would say, yes, yes, very good. But when it comes to sacrifice something, when it comes to leave your comfort zone, they will say, sorry, not my style. I can't do it, not possible. Even today, we face the same issue. The lesson the birds learned from this post valley was to reach to some place, to achieve something, we have to leave our comfort zone. We cannot reach a destination, cannot achieve something by remaining in our comfort zone. So some of the birds learned that lesson, but some of the birds said, sorry, we will not continue. Some of them agreed that let's go, let's move forward. And with this intention, the birds now traveled into the second valley. Wadi Ishq, the level, the valley of love. What is love? Love is a fire that transforms desires into passion. Pupus told them, you cannot attain anything unless your level of commitment is that of a love. And here a story was narrated that a man loved a girl and he suicided, cut his throat, died there. The person died, but the body erected and still followed the lover. Hupu says that there is no logic in love. So when you are trying to reach to some destination, you cannot live a logical life. Logic remains far behind when love takes over. So if you have a love for what you are doing, there is no need of any logic to convince. That love itself is enough. And here, the birds learn that to reach to some destination, we have to burn our lives into the love of the ocean. Love transforms a small effort into an intended, dedicated effort. So birds learn, even the nightingale realized that the love that I was talking about was not really a love. I was not dying for my love. It was just a passion, a very basic level of attachment. And here the birds learn we need love. From here, now the birds traveled and entered into the third valley, Wadi Marfat, Valley of Wisdom. Tupu told them the life of two people. He said there was a person, highly scholar person, who had read thousands of books, and his home was filled with books like a library. But his wisdom The deep understanding of the world, of the values, of the life was superficial. Whereas a shepherd against him, a shepherd without being knowledgeable or learned or scholar, had a far better understanding of what the world is and how things take place in this world. The wisdom of a shepherd was far better than the knowledge of a scholar. The birds understood that to reach something, to achieve something, superficial knowledge, titles of knowledge, learned person, professor, philosopher, DTM, all those titles, they do not matter. The real thing that matters is understanding, the deep understanding and knowing what the world is and how the world works. Here, the birds understood that more knowledge, more ego. Knowledge boosts ego, whereas wisdom results in humility. At this stage, the eagle got injured, and small sparrow helped the eagle to recover from the injury. This is the knowledge of love that they achieved, that we have to go into deep, attain, and achieve a humility. Having finished all these valleys, birds are moving on. Unfortunately, some of the birds are not able to cope up with the issues of the valleys, and gradually number of birds is reducing. They reach to the fourth valley, Wadi Istana, the valley of detachment. Here, Bupu narrates a story of a king. He was a very mighty king with a lot of valuable things within his reach, a full country under his command, all the resources within his reach. But he resigned. He quit the kingship and handed over the charge to someone else. Somebody asked the king, "What have you done? You had all the powers with you. You were the king. Why have you quit all those things, all those possessions?" And the king replied, "When I was a king, I was not owning those things. Actually, those things were owning me. I was the slave of the things." The birds understood that when you are attached to things, you cannot move forward. Those attachments keep you from moving forward. Detach yourself, make yourself free. As much as you are free, you will be able to move forward. Here, birds understood the requirement is not to glorify yourself and get entitlement, reach the highest possible levels. Rather, the important thing in life for a leader is to make others shine. Let others shine. Transform that shyness, that glory, instead of towards yourself, transmit it to others. Make everybody shine. Make everybody improve their lives. Here, they understood that attachments are weight, and weight it reduces the power of flight. When we are weightless, when we are free of burden, free of titles, we fly high. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the birds enter into the fifth valley, Wadi Tawheed, the unity. Have you ever experienced, my dear fellow Toastmasters, when the sun is rising from the east, as it moves ahead, if you face the sun, what happens? Your face becomes golden, bright, shining from the sunlight. That is your delight, bright face. That is your golden, burning face. Beautiful face. But when you look down on your backside, you see a shadow, your own shadow. Your face is golden, your shadow is black. What's the difference? If you are golden, why your shade is not golden? The birds learn that we all are one. My face, my shadow, my outer look, my inner look, these all come from one source. And that one source that is creating differences. This whole universe in front of ours, where we see different colors, different habits, different cultures, different people, different languages, they all come from only one source. So they are, in sense, they are one. The difference is superficial. From within themselves, they are one. They all are the creation of God. And there the birds understood that a lesson of life is that we all are one. If I treat you as what I want to be treated. When I say I want to help you in a way that is acceptable to you, when I want you to be what I am, the result is we all are same. Here, the birds learn that when we travel together, when we want to reach to something, that destination is in ourselves. The seeker and sought, they become one. The birds understood that we have to transform I into we. The power is a combined power from everybody's. Combine the power. Don't remain in isolated life. And ladies and gentlemen, from here the birds enter now into the valley, sixth valley, Wadi Hayrat, wonderment. Fellow Toastmasters, just let me ask you one thing. What is the extent and outer limit of the universe? Millions of light years. Millions of light years. So if you travel at a speed of light, you are not able to reach to the one destination of this universe. Let's not talk about the whole universe. Let's talk about our earth. Let's talk about the life below the sea. Have you watched any movie about sea life? I had a small aquarium, a marine aquarium in my home. Beautiful life. Fellow Toastmasters, this beautiful sea life was there from thousands or millions of years, I don't know how long. When did the human beings understood or discovered this life? 50 years ago? Before that, we were not 75 years ago, maximum 100 years ago. Before that, we were not able to travel under the sea. We were not able to see the world. But then why is there so much thing, so beauty in the world? This wonderment valley told the birds that the whole universe is big, filled with beauties, filled with a lot of things. So if you have observed something, your observation is very minor, very minute as compared to whatever is available. So you want to be a leader? Keep wondering, keep exploring. Don't think I know. No, no, one thing I don't know. I have to learn. I am not a scholar, I am a student. The whole universe has so many wonders for us. We are not able to reach to the extent and ultimate level of this whole universe. Keep exploring. You will never end, you will never be able to completely explore the whole world. Ladies and gentlemen, now the birds enter into the seventh valley, the valley of Fana, poverty and annihilation. Here was the last valley, and the birds were expecting that when we will cross the mountain in the last valley, we will be able to see our king, see Murgh. And they expected that there will be a huge castle, a very large building, and we will see a mighty king. But unfortunately, when they crossed the final mountain and reached into the Fana valley, they did not see any king. They were not able to see any castle, no buildings, nothing. The only thing they were able to see was that there was a beautiful, neat, clean pond of water. Their intention was to travel and meet the king, but by reaching here, they don't see a king, rather a pond of water. When they reached to the top of the pond and looked down, they saw themselves, their own shades, and they realized that the king they were looking for is nothing outside. King is within. You don't have to look outside for king. The journey transformed ordinary birds into the leaders, into the king. There's no leader, there's no king outside. The truth is, the ultimate reality is that leadership is not sought, it is a vacant. Ladies and gentlemen, we learned with this through the birds that we don't have to look for a leader. We have to become a self-directed leader. Toastmaster of the day.
Leadership is not sought, it is awakened. Thank you so much, DTM Irfan. Members and guests, as we take a moment to let what Irfan has shared with us, all the different valleys, the stories that he shared with us, settle in. I challenge each and every one of you to translate what Irfan has given to you. What is your key takeaway? And translate it into actions and goals for yourself. It is timely now to reflect on such things. As the calendar year is reaching the end, this is our second last meeting of the year. And also we are roughly at the midway mark of our Toastmasters year. How have you been doing over the past 6 months? Were there things that you can have more initiative and drive forward? Perhaps some projects, perhaps some collaborations. Were there people you could have nudged for greater growth so that they also nudge you for likewise greater growth. These are some of the attributes that I'm very proud of in my experience of Leadership Speak. They are here. And members, thank you so much for doing all this. And I encourage all members to continue. To guests, welcome to Leadership Speak. In each and every meeting, Leadership Speak is very blessed to have many guests visiting us, studying us, learning about us. And as you are here, as you are observing, I hope each and every speech, from the educational keynote to the prepared speakers that are coming up, and even the evaluators some previous guests have shared with me, gives you key takeaway about leadership, maybe something about your leadership journey, including considering how Leadership Speak itself can be part of your experience. In a short moment in time, thank you so much, PR Master. The guest book has been shared in the Zoom chat. And I encourage guests, if you have yet to, do sign up the guest book. Let us know a little bit more about you, and let us connect towards the end of the meeting. In the meantime, enjoy yourselves. We now come to the prepared speeches section. We have 4 speakers today. And our first speaker, DTM Aminata Keita, will be evaluated. I'm very thankful for this one. DTM Irfan Farooqui, who has very kindly stepped up to take a double role. I'd like to invite DTM Irfan to introduce to us the project of DTM Aminata. Irfan, over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Aminata, sharing with us Level 1 Project 4. And if you understand, there are 3 things to do in this project. You have to deliver first speech, take back the feedback from members, apply it, and then deliver the second speech, and you have to evaluate someone else. So our Toastmaster Aminata is going to deliver her first speech from this project. And the topic of her speech is The Day I Learned to Stand. And this topic itself is very attractive topic. And I am going to be very happy to find out the day I learned to stand for myself would definitely be something we are attracted to understand. Toastmaster Aminata is going to deliver an level 1, project 4.1. And she is not very specifically conscious about anything specific. And she is sick today, and she was not probably going to deliver. But it is good that whenever there is an opportunity, we should look for it. We should avail whatever opportunity is available. So she is availing her opportunity and delivering a speech. It's a very good thing. I like it. And she says that there's nothing specific, just normal evaluation. And normal evaluation, I hand over charge back to Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you very much, Holmes, for giving this opportunity for me to evaluate a speaker. Holmes.
Thank you so much, DTM Irfan. Our first speaker, DTM Aminata. Once again, thank you so much. Despite your current, how you're feeling, you are here with us to share with us your story. DTM Aminata is a passionate traveler and leader who believes that life's most powerful lessons often emerge from unexpected moments. Through personal experiences, she invites us to listen to the inner voice that helps us stand strong. DTM Aminata Keita The day I learned to stand for myself. The day I learned to stand for myself. DTM, Aminata, Keita, over to you.
Some people collect souvenirs from their travels. I collect stories. Stories that remind me that airports they are not just places where flight takes off. They are places where character takes off too. Mr. Toastmaster of the day, fellow members, and cherished guests, I have had the privilege of traveling to many countries in the world, around 50 countries. I've admired new cultures, I've eaten questionable foods, and I have even gotten lost in some beautiful cities. But the experience that shaped me the most did not happen in museums, in restaurants, or even in cafes. They happened at the border, in those small, tense moments when a stranger in uniform holds your passport and suddenly holds your destiny as well. And in those moments, you learn something you don't find in any travel guide. You learn who you are really when your comfort zone is confiscated by somebody else. Today, I want to share with you two experiences that changed me. Not because of the places I visited, no, but because of the person I became after visiting them. Two borders, two confrontations, and one unique lesson that transformed how I show up in life when I feel uncomfortable. Let me take you to the first one. I was flying to Italy. I was visiting my sister there. I was excited, radiant, full of plans, and completely unaware that the universe had prepared an unexpected test for me. I reached immigration. Yeah, confident. I handed my passport to the immigration officer and waited for the familiar stamp. But instead, the officer looked at me. He looked at my photo. Then he looked at me again and looked at my photo. He called another officer to join him. And they exchanged looks. Look that don't need any translation, of course. And they said, this passport is not yours, it's false, and you will return. It was in Italy. I didn't speak the language. My sister was waiting for me right behind the door. But guess what? I never had the opportunity to see her because they took me back on my return ticket that I bought from my pocket. Can you imagine? They returned me. But at that time, what happened? I tried to explain, but my voice got lost. I couldn't do anything. That little voice in me was saying, do something, fight. But I think I was scared of the men in uniform. I didn't want them to brutalize me. So I just followed quietly and I went back. The flight seemed longer, not because of the distance, no, because of maybe the fact that I could have done better for myself and I didn't do it. So I remember a quote from Maya Angelou who says, stand up straight and realize who you are. That's your power over your circumstances. But that day,
Members and guests, we seem to have some network issues. Let's wait a bit while if Aminata is able to connect back to us. Okay, I noted that she has disconnected. We'll connect with Aminata a while later, if she's able to join us back. In the meantime, I'd like to move on to our next speaker, who is able to speak to us. I'd like to move on to speaker number 2, Ghada Almojarkish, who will be evaluated by Renan Ursula. Renan, I'd like to invite you to introduce the project of Ghada.
Hello, thank you, Toastmaster of the day. The next speaker will deliver a speech under Presentation Mastery, Level 3. It's an elective project. Deliver social speeches in 3 to 4 minutes. The purpose is for this project is for the member to practice delivering social speeches in front of club members. When I connected with Ghada, she told me to focus on her tone of voice and expression. Good luck, Ghada, and back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Renan. Our speaker, Ghada, says that in a way, her success partners were not just supporters. They were also the ones who hurt her, pushed her limits, and shaped the strength that she carries today. Ghada Almojarkish, success partners. Success partners, Ghada Almojarkish.
Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It's my honor today to receive the Facilitator of the Year award. And I'm deeply grateful to the nonprofit organization I proudly serve. Under the theme Success Partners, I'd like to acknowledge the many people who shaped this moment. First, my heartfelt thanks to the supportive team who pushed me beyond my comfort zone, believed in my experience and knowledge, and opened doors I never imagined I would walk through. Your trust was the fuel that kept me growing, learning, and showing up every day with purpose. Second, my heartfelt thanks to every person who offered advice, whether I know them personally or I passed or crossed by for a moment. Whether the advice came out of pride or sincerely, it still added something meaningful to my journey. Every word, every comment, and every perspective left a small legacy that helped refine my shape and grade today. And third, I extend a sincere and intentional thank you to those who challenged me the most, hurt me, doubted me, and hoped that I fail. You may not know it, but you taught me some of the deepest lessons. Yes, I failed at times, but not because someone wanted me to, but because I rushed into the test before I had prepared for it. Those difficult moments taught me to slow down, to observe quietly, to listen carefully, and to keep my mind open to all what's happening around me. Only then the road can be clear, and only then can I truly prepare for the next test. Today, I stand here not only because of you, people who supported me, but also because of those who challenged me. Together, you were all my success partners. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Ghada. I'd like to move on to our third speaker, Distinguished Toastmaster Hannah Smith. And I also like to invite Helene Mock to introduce to us what DTM Hannah will be doing today. Helene?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Holmes. Our speaker, DTM Hannah, will deliver the Persuasive Speaking Project. And this is a level 3, and this speech lasts between 5 to 7 minutes. And the purpose of this speech is for the member to understand the types of persuasive speeches and deliver a persuasive speech at a club meeting. Back to you. Hello, Hannah. Back to
Thank you
you.
so much, Helene. Our third speaker, DTM Hannah Smith. Experienced Toastmaster. This is how she describes herself. She is a great supporter when it comes to water savings and proper waste management. DTM Hannah's speech is simply water. Water, DTM Hannah Smith. Over to you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Samuel Taylor Coleridge, and he lived from 1772 to 1834. He said, "Water, water everywhere, and not a drop to drink." This poetic line, nearly 200 years old, is still relevant. It's still our reality. And today I am here to persuade, not to fear, but to inspire, convince, and motivate to take action and to change it. Have you got a solution? Mr. Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, our world presents a breathtaking paradox. We are surrounded by water. 70% of the earth is ocean. Clouds drift above, bursting with moisture. Aquifers beneath our feet, all with moisture. Glaciers store entire lakes of fresh water. And do you know how much of all this water is drinkable? Only 2.5% is drinkable. 2.5%. And that to sustain 8 billion people Is that a drop for everyone? Let me rewind and relate to a personal wake-up call. I was a learner in Lüderitz in Namibia, a small town situated on the west coast of Africa and on the edge of the Namib Desert, the driest, the oldest desert on earth. 31% of my country is desert, and here fresh water is not a resource, it's a ritual. It's restricted, it is appreciated, and most of all, respected. As children at school, we asked, is there a drop to drink for us? How much water can I spare today? Can I bath? The same urgency, the same scarcity, maybe a bit more pronounced with 8 billion people around. Water, water, everywhere, and not a drop to drink. And who is responsible? Why is this crisis getting worse? I have 2 reasons, both caused by us humans. The one is deforestation, the other one is waste management. Because deforestation is the purposeful of clearing of forests and plant across the globe. Is greatly accelerated by humans in search for land for agriculture, grazing, living space, and mining activities. Trees are Mother Earth's lungs. They are the climate regulators and water managers. Cut the trees, and the water cycle is cut. No trees means no soil stability, because all the roots, they absorb the water and stop it from flowing away, resulting in more floods and more runoffs straight into the oceans. Mankind is literally destroying the very system that make rainfall usable. Does that not alarm us? If not, what then? Thus, plant a tree every day to keep the drought at bay. It's a small action, but it leads to significant change. The second one is very, very close to us. It's home. A huge poor waste management, a major contributor to water pollution. Why? Or we just throw away our plastic bottles, assuming they might disappear. But however, nothing disappears. At school, I learned that matter never is destroyed. It merely changes form. Think about it, from our kitchen to our bin, to the landfills, then to the rivers, the groundwater, and aquifers, eventually also ending up in your drinking glass. Polluted aquifers can remain unusable for decades, forever. When it comes to waste management, cut down what goes into the trash can. Start to rethink, reuse, recycle, rethink. Rwanda, a country in Africa, has a total ban on all plastic. Reuse. NGOs in Nigeria and Uganda, they decided to build bungalows entirely made out of plastic bottles. Research, recycle, compost what nature can reclaim. Discard the waste wisely and with haste. Ladies and gentlemen, water scarcity isn't the planet failing us. It is us failing our planet, our Mother Earth. And there is a solution to the water pollution. I stand here today to encourage and, more importantly, to support my community, my neighborhood, my tenants in this very complex. Choose wisely, choose intentionally, choose to act. Perhaps one day, Taylor Coleridge's words will no longer hold true. Instead of saying, water, water, everywhere, not a drop to drink, we say, water, water, everywhere, and enough to drink. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, DTM Hana. Our fourth speaker is Joyce Kibe. And I'd like to invite her evaluator, Paramjit Singh, to share with us what's the project that Joyce will be doing today.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Joyce is presenting a speech from the Pathway Dynamic Leadership. The path name is Evaluation and Feedback, the second speech. The purpose of this project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting. The purpose of this speech is for the members to demonstrate their ability to deliver an effective, respectful speech, evaluation speech. Thank you very much. Back to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Paramjit. Joyce, our fourth speaker, is a banker by profession and currently doing mentorship in Toastmasters and professionally. Joyce Kibe, life after the laptop. Life after the laptop. Joyce Kibe.
You may be wondering what I mean by life after the laptop. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Toastmasters and guests. When I look back at my colleagues and friends, every day I get questions like, Joyce, how many hours do you have in a day? Joyce, where do you get time to do all this? Joyce, what time do you get home? Sit back and I'll tell you why I get all these questions. My life after the laptop, I have 4 key things that I do. The first one, I am a Toastmaster, something that I do not regret from 4 years ago. I became a Toastmaster back in 2021, and I started as a treasurer to VPE, and currently I am the club president. I also serve in the area as the program quality director in Area D and meet with the 4 VPEs under the same area. Additionally, I meet with my club exco once a month to just ensure that our club is running smoothly. Secondly, I play sports. I can play all the ball games. That is basketball, volleyball, netball, handball, and table tennis. The only game that I cannot play is hockey. And for today, I will not tell you why I can't play hockey. That's a story for another day. Basketball and table tennis, we play throughout the year because we have tournaments all the season. But for netball and handball, we have it during our interbanks in September and October. That says my year is quite busy, especially over the weekends. Thirdly, I serve in the church. In our local church, I serve as the personal assistant to our lady pastor. I also serve in our worship ministry every Tuesday in protocol. That explains why I come in a suit and a tie during those meetings. Now you know. Additionally, I also head a hospitality team comprising of 15 ladies, where I have made it and lead them intentionally for them to grow and come and be like me. Most of them I do not know where they come from, but I decided to accommodate them. They are quite young, so they are people who are looking up to me. We also lead as youth patrons, myself and my husband, where we have a team of about 40 youth members in our church, where we have several programs and lead them with an intention for them to become grown-ups in future. Fourthly, I'm an event planner. I love events that do well and go well. I plan for birthdays, for bridal showers, baby showers, for team dinners and lunches. And all these tasks, I've taken them graciously. Thank God for leaders and leadership speak and also Toastmasters that has enabled me to be able to plan well. This is through projects like project management. I'm asking each and every one of you, what are you doing with your life after the laptop? Is your life just engrossed on what you're doing on your daily, day 8 to 5 job? I am sure there's something that you love doing. Take it up as something you can do after your 8 to 5 job. As for me, I have decided I will not lock myself. I will do something that I love. This entails being a Toastmaster, playing games, being an event planner, and giving myself to the society. It's important to be useful wherever you are. All of you here, you are talented, even without asking. I've had a chance to listen to most of you speak, to interact with most of you, and I know you're doing a lot behind the scenes. Take time to do what you love best. There is love and life after the laptop. Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Joyce. I'd like to invite back our first speaker, DTM Aminata Keita, who has resolved some of her network issues, back on the stage. Aminata, please turn on your camera. Aminata. Wait, let me add you. Hello, Aminata. Glad to have you back with us. Please unmute yourself.
Yes. Okay. Can you now hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now loud and clear. And Aminata, we just had a brief discussion just to confirm with you. Would you like to repeat your entire speech? We can make time for that, or would you like to do a brief recap and continue your story? Your choice.
Maybe I'll do. I don't know where I stopped actually. It would be good to do a brief recap and just because it's a story, just finish the story.
Okay, but go with that. A note to the timer, because this is a recap and completion, there is no need to strictly time Aminata. We'll let Aminata decide on the rough timing that she requires.
Toastmaster of the Day. If nobody can tell where I stopped, then I will have maybe to quickly redo, but briefly the speech. Because I cannot tell. I did the entire speech here on my at home. So I don't know
You
where to
stopped
start.
where you stopped where you were escorted back to the plane and you were going back home.
From Italy, you were not allowed to enter into Italy, and then you
were
quoted.
not allowed. Yeah, you were sent back
Okay,
home.
all right. So fine. So good. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thanks for your patience.
Aminata, Keita, the day I learned to stand for myself, the day I learned to stand for myself, distinguished Toastmaster Aminata, Keita, handing back the stage to you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, I'm telling you today about two stories that shaped my life, that shaped my inner strength. The first story is about a trip I did to Italy, and from where I was returned without entering the country because I was scared to stand for myself when they took my passport and decided that the photo in the passport was not me. I didn't do anything about it because of fear, and I was returned to where I came from, Morocco. So the regret that I felt that day settled in me like a stone. And years passed, life moved on, but that feeling, that quiet regret traveled with me all along. Then came a new journey, a Fulbright scholarship to study in the United States of America. I landed at JFK Airport. Imagine me, so full of confidence, hopeful, and happy. Until the officer said, "Your passport, please, madam." And I handed the passport, and he said, "You are missing a document. You must return." You must what? Told me that little voice in my head. What? You must what? Then I said, no. At that time, Italy flashed back in my mind. I thought about what happened that day in Italy. This time, something rose inside me, a silent refusal to repeat the past. I remembered Nelson Mandela's words at that time. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. And I was feeling energized. I explained my case, clarified the situation. I even emphasized my prestigious scholarship, the Fulbright scholarship. He said, "Madam, you have to return if you don't have that paper." But I negotiated calmly. And yes, although I'm not a comedian, I was ready to act like a comedian on that day. My next move was going to be to throw myself on the floor and tap my feet in my ultimate hope to stay in the United States. But I was ready to do that. They did not allow me to do it, fortunately. They said, "Madam, if we'll give you 1 month to stay, if you fix the paperwork, then you will stay in the United States and go for your scholarship." And I said, "What? 1 month? I don't need 1 month. I just need a day. Give me a day," because it was the fault of the embassy of the United States. They did not even listen to me. They just took my passport and they put that familiar stamp in it, "Come." And I was free to go for 1 month. Yes, I turned my back and I went. And as I walked away, I understood Eleanor Roosevelt's words. She said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." That day, I refused to consent. I had stood for myself. Yes, from Italy to New York, ladies and gentlemen, from fear to courage, both experiences taught me one truth. When you don't stand for yourself, life will repeat the lesson until you do. Travel changed my map, but standing up for myself changed my identity. People may question your documents. They may question your eligibility. They may even question your right to be somewhere. But your inner passport, your voice, your courage, and your dignity is the one that defines you. Mr. Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, DTM, Aminata, Keita. We have come to the end of our prepared speech segment. I'd like to invite the timer to post the speaker's timing in the Zoom chat, the Zoom master to launch the poll of the best effort speaker. Zoom master. Okay.
I think they have launched. I think they have launched the best evaluator.
That's the wrong one.
It's the wrong one.
It seems it's going back to the same.
Best effort speaker. Let me just double check. Yes.
Now it's up there.
Yes, the best effort speaker. For those of us who are voting a little bit faster, you have decided, I encourage you to also reflect back on the speeches that you've just heard. Was there a particular line, a word, a challenge that sparked you? Share it in the Zoom chat. Guest, I also like to take a brief moment to speak to you. I'm sure some of you noticed that as the evaluators were sharing what the speaker was about to do, majority, if not all of them, shared about what the speaker has requested the evaluator to look out for. What enabled this is that sometimes up to 2-3 weeks ago, evaluators and speakers have connected, usually via a call where schedule allows. And this not only happens on an individual basis, it can also happen in some of our club members only training sessions, coaching sessions, where the conversation happens and the speeches are further refined through the inputs of roundtable feedback. This, I believe, should be a quality that all, if not most, Toastmasters should be looking for, looking at, and we have it right here in Leadership Speak. And guest, I do want to be upfront with you. PR Master, I'd like to invite you to post the guest book link in the Zoom chat. As you fill up the guest book, and if you do indicate your interest in finding out more and maybe even later joining Leadership Speak, I do want to be upfront with you. Leadership Speak is an advanced Toastmasters club. And one of the core elements here is that when a new member joins, the member is not going to be spoon-fed. We don't spoon-feed advanced Toastmasters here. Yes, there will be other members, the executive committee, reaching out to you to guide you along, to help you to ease into the culture of Leadership Speak. But the intent is to develop self-directed leaders, better self-directed leaders. So as members become more experienced in the club, members will be expected to have the initiative, step up, take up roles, take up projects, do speeches, and coach others, be it in the coaching and mentoring sessions that we have, or in a private basis that's arranged between the mentees and the mentors. Mentees are also expected, if a mentor is required, if a coach is required, and someone is suitable in the club, to reach out directly, discuss, connect, and then from there, co-develop each other into better self-directed leaders. If this is something guest that you're looking for. The guest book is waiting for you. I know that poll have ended, and we are also have just completed our speeches. Our next segment will be led by our general evaluator for us to have the meeting evaluation. Our general evaluator is Distinguished Toastmaster Guerdah Felix. Guerdah started her Toastmasters journey in 2014, and since then, she has served in many roles from club to the district. This year, Guerdah will be focusing on herself as she takes observational skills to a higher level. Leading from the inside is where transformation happens, because everyone's experience is for the growth of our spiritual self. Members and guests, let us welcome our General Evaluator, DTM, Guerdah Felix.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, for the introduction. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcomed guests. As the General Evaluator, my intent is to oversee the evaluation segment of our meeting, where our keen sense of observation and listening skills will be demonstrated. This segment is in 3 parts. First, I will call on a team of seasoned evaluators to evaluate the speakers. Second, I will call on the role players for their reports. And third, I will share my overall assessment of the meeting. I am ready. Are you? With our first evaluator, or the first person being evaluated is the toast. Dipti Tak is evaluating the toast delivered by Buhari Zia. For Dipti, when leaders act from within, they inspire trust, not through authority, but through authenticity. Please help me welcome Dipti Tak.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the members and guests of Leadership Speak. And very warm regards to my target speaker, Toastmaster Buhari Zayed. You raised a very motivational toast, which was in sync with the theme of our meeting today, leading from within. You opened by saying leadership doesn't begin with applause or position, but by commitment. And the whole essence was there, because applause and position is given by others, whereas commitment is a promise we give to ourselves. So the whole essence of the thing was there. Your opening was very impressive. To talk more about the within, you gave an example. Each one of us carries light with us, and that light glows more and becomes brighter when we are honest, disciplined, and intentional. So you use the word of the day, intent, right before it was even given to us. And yes, that was very interesting. We all followed your toast. I mean, it was like a journey, and we were going along with you. So it was a very impressive one. Your pace was good. Even you used pause as a very good tool. We could understand everything you said. Your language was clear. Only one recommendation which I have is, in the few sentences, we couldn't follow the last word you spoke. Like your sentence came from up, went down like this, like an intonation. And the last word, like you were speaking about impact of something, You ended the sentence and impact of, and the last word we could not hear it. I'm not sure whether it was a technical problem or whether your sound, I mean, it is the way you close your sentence. Just that one thing. Then that, your speech was very nice. And back to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Dipti. Beautiful evaluation. You shared rose and glows. You started, it was well developed. What I would ask you to pay attention to is your hands. I felt that your hands were moving constantly. And I know that sometimes when we are speaking and we want our point to come across, we become very animated. Pay attention to your hands. Overall, your evaluation was well shared. Thank you. And now we have Nelly Ayodo. She is evaluating the role played by our Toastmaster of the Day, Holmes Teng. Nelly is a public speaking coach and trainer who has taken up leadership roles at club levels. Nelly believes in leading from within to enhance her professional development skills in leadership and communication. Please help me welcome Nelly Ayodo.
Thank you very much, Guerdah. Our President Holmes asked me to look out for three things. Is he authentic and emotionally connected? Is his facial expression consistent with his message? Is the message effective in helping new members to understand the benefits of leadership speak? President Holmes, you did an excellent job in setting the positive and welcoming tone for the meeting. Your opening was confident and engaging, which immediately captured the audience's attention. You greeted and welcomed our guests with intent and invited them to sign in the guest book. You are authentic and emotionally connected with the audience. Your message was effective in helping prospectives in understanding the benefits of joining Leadership Speak. Your transitions between segments were smooth and your speaker introductions were clear and well structured. You demonstrated strong leadership by keeping the meeting organized and ensuring each role player knew their steps. You were considerate. When Aminata had internet issues, you gave her the opportunity to complete her speech. You encouraged all of us to write in the chat. When you encouraged all of us to write in the chat about what we felt about today's meeting, that was very commendable. An area of improvement would be your tonal variety. If you could just add a little bit more energy in your vocal variety, it would enhance your speech. In closing, overall, you performed your role very well. You were confident and you showed professionalism. You prepared and you were calm. You helped the meeting flow smoothly with minor adjustments in your vocal variety. Your Toastmaster journey will be very impactful. Well done, President Holmes. Back to you, Guerdah.
Thank you, Nelly. Glows and grows. I like that you had a beginning, a middle, and an end, and also the fact that in the end you had summarized your evaluation. What I would ask you to pay attention to is where you have your notes, because if not, it seems that you are looking one way and down. Therefore, the connection is missing. if you could just look at the camera, put your notes in a way that it doesn't look so much that you are only reading. You are able to talk to us. Apart from that, your evaluation was well delivered. Thank you. And now it is time to call on Tony. Tony Bratchett is evaluating the Leadership Speak education speaker, Irfan Farooqui. For Tony, leading from within requires strength of character, which can be described as emotional fortitude, which comes from self-discovery and self-mastery. Please help me welcome Tony Bratchett.
DE, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. Thank you, Irfan, for taking on the challenge of delivering a keynote-style message built around Farid Udin Attar's poem, The Conference of the Birds. Your central message, that leadership begins with inner transformation rather than waiting for external direction, is powerful and aligns beautifully with Attar's spiritual metaphors. You excelled at presenting rich material in a relatable way of what self-leadership requires. And by doing so, you created a beautiful mosaic, piece by piece by piece, with your lovely slides of Attar's metaphorical journey, the birds traveling through the 7 valleys, searching for Sidluk, such as the valleys of love, wisdom, detachment. And each of these valleys had a powerful message, such as sacrifice personal glory and make others shine. Powerful, each one of them. Your speech had a clear flow, an inspirational opening, a story that took us from valley to valley to valley, and a call to inner transformation. I have 2 suggestions that may enhance your next step towards self-mastery for professional speaking. 1, reinforce your leadership message. Attar's metaphors are very rich. So consider tightening the bridge between Attar's rich metaphors and your leadership message of developing leadership from within and not from the outside with a personal example. Something that's happened in your life or someone else's life that we can relate to. And 2, deepen your call to action. Give the audience, give us some simple advice we can use right now to impact and get towards using some of the messages. So we go from inspiration to application. Something like simple advice, such as leaders talk less, listen more. Something like that. Overall, this was a thoughtful, imaginative keynote that invited us to consider leadership as an inner transformation. Such as you said, leadership is not sought, it is awakened. Irfan, thank you for inspiring us through Attar's timeless poetry. Back to you, GE.
Thank you, Tony. As I was listening to you, I understood at a deeper level the role of an evaluator. Not only for the words that you've used, but that the direction that you have given, which came into recommendations. The role of an evaluator is, if we missed something, if we as the audience miss something, then the evaluator will bring it to us in the way that they are evaluating. And that was beautifully demonstrated. What I would have liked to see is your face, Tony, because of course today you were the voice. I could not see you. But for me, that brought your evaluation, brought something deeper. Thank you. And now it is time to call on our first speaker evaluator, which is Irfan Farooqui. He is evaluating Aminata Keita. Irfan is a member of multiple clubs who loves to communicate. Please help me welcome distinguished Toastmaster Irfan Farooqui.
Thank you very much for giving this opportunity of evaluating a speech. And basic purpose of the evaluation is to improve ourselves more and less to the speaker. Toastmaster Aminata, I appreciate, first of all, that during the speech, your link was dropped. But you, when you came back, you were with same energy, with same spirit, and you completed your project very well. So that is the first thing that I would like to appreciate, that you did not lose your confidence, you did not shatter, you completed project very well. The lesson that I understood and I learned from your speech is that we have to stand up for ourselves. No one is going to stand up for us. It is us who have to stand up for ourselves. And this stand up provides the ability to transform from fear to courage. This is what you said in your speech. And I think it's a very good lesson learned that when you were in Italy, you were deported or not allowed to enter. You kept quiet, you did not resist, but when the second time it happened with you, you learned that I have to resist. And that resistance came in your favor. So this is the good lesson that I learned from you. Moving forward, I would say that this lesson was very well aligned with the theme from within. This standing up came from within. And in this way, I would say your speech was very much aligned with our organization, with our theme of the meeting of this day. Not only that you connected with the theme, but the message of standing up you were giving with authenticity. You quoted two very good people, Michelangelo, when you were returning from Italy, you referred Michelangelo that you did not stood up. Michelangelo says that you should. And then in the later American event, you quoted Nelson Mandela. So quoting somebody authenticates what you are saying. And I would say that this was also a very good step in your presentation. I would say your speech was very well structured because it had an opening where you told us that you have traveled to 50 different countries and you regularly travel. So a person who regularly travels, passport should be filled, and yet, so we did not expect that you will be not allowed to enter into some country. Was the beginning, and then what happened with you, and then you reached to the conclusion, which is required in a speech. You concluded by telling us that when you again faced the same problem, you stood up and you resisted it. However, when you were talking about the way of resisting, I was waiting that you will lie down on the floor and you will start screaming and like a child, and no, 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 no. I was looking at it probably. I wanted to see that, just saying it with a joke, not really wanted to see that, but I thought maybe you are going to do that, demonstrate that. You verbally said it, but I thought maybe you would do it. Moving forward, I would say that throughout your speech, your tone, your emphasis were very strong. Your body was aligned with your words. You said that you were actually you said you must return. So there was a strong voice in it. And then you had very good gestures, stamping gestures. However, I would like one thing that if you try to use is that you stood on a very one position and delivered the whole speech from that central position. Although you were standing, but you could move a few steps ahead, backward, right, or left. You could use the stage. Otherwise, I would say in a total excellent speech, very well covered, very well structured, good use of body, good use of sentences, vocal variety, references, a good message. Just add few moments on the stage and the speech would be to a next level. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Irfan. Great takeaway and also great summary at the end. What to be mindful of is the repeating of what happens in the speech. Although you explained what you saw and what could be better, I felt at times you were repeating the speech, some things in the speech of our speaker. Be mindful of that. But the fact that you ended with a summary, that was well done, because as I said before, a summary in an evaluation contest is 15 points. Well done. And I won't typically do this, but I feel like I do need to, simply because I want everybody to understand when a speaker is speaking, the speaker brings their whole self to you. And for me today, with Aminata's speech, what I felt, there was so many hums, as, and I felt that in all those and as, they were different. They meant something different. And I caught on that. And the reason I'm saying this, it is a cultural thing that we need to pay attention to, even though it is not part of our culture. And for me today, that was spoke to me. Thank you. And now I will call on Renan Ersila, who is evaluating our third speaker, Ghada Almojarkish, a Toastmaster for 5 years from the Philippines. For Renan, leading from within means influencing and guiding others through actions, values, and accountability without relying on formal authority or position. Please help me welcome Renan Ersila.
Thank you, General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and guests, especially Ghada. Ghada, your speech delivery was warm, enthusiastic, and you were full of positive energy. You looked genuinely happy at the start or the beginning of your speech and really excited to deliver it, which immediately engaged the audience. You smiled a lot. You had a frequent hand gestures that added a natural and approachable tone during your speech. You did an excellent job acknowledging the theme of the event that you shared. You thank the supporters, then highlighting the theme of that event that you shared with us, the Facilitator of the Year Award, if I'm not mistaken, if it is exactly. This gave the speech purpose and relevance of what you shared with us or with your audience. These elements demonstrated strong audience awareness and added credibility to your message, making this social speech impactful and enjoyable. Okay, let's take your speech to the next level. If you could consider this suggestion, making it more engaging, because I've noticed that you are only at the same level from the start until the end of your speech. If you could make it more engaging by adding vivid anecdotes or short dialogues that capture the emotion of moments, such as describing the recipient's reaction when receiving the award. Why I'm suggesting, because mimicking the excitement or voice could inject impact and could inject humor and drama. This would create stronger emotional connection with the audience. With this enhancement, you already have a strong and enthusiastic speech. But adding this could become truly unforgettable, because you can also expand the use of vocal variety, so it make it more impactful and unforgettable to the audience. Thank you, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Renan. I like that your evaluation was from beginning to end. I could follow very clearly where you were evaluating in the speech. I would ask that you be a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? I want to have more example. So for example, when you say, I want your voice, where in the speech that it would have been beneficial for the voice to change? At what sentences or what words could the voice bring more to the speech? That's what I would like to see. You did everything well. There was a beginning, there was a middle, there was an end in your evaluation. You did growth, you did glows. Well done. For next time, be a little bit more. I want to see where the examples are getting better, where they are in the speech. That would help the speaker and also the audience. Thank you, Renan. And now it is time to call on Lynn Mock, who is evaluating Hannah Schmidt. For Lynn, leading from within, aligning values with action is the foundation of leadership that endures. Please help me welcome Lynn Mock.
Thank you. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. First of all, TM Hannah, congratulations on an excellent speech. My main takeaway from your presentations was the strong message you deliver right from the beginning. You open with a powerful literary reference. Water, water everywhere, and not a drop to the ring. So from the very first moment, you make it clear that this speech was not meant to alarm us, but to inspire action. Another powerful part of your speech was how you move us from awareness to responsibility. You show us not only why water scarcity exists, but how human actions such as deforestation and poor waste management are directly contributing to the problem. And the ending part, most important, You reminded us that solutions begin with us. So your structure was excellent, making the message easy to follow. And I really like valuable information you use in your speak. For instance, your effective use of constructs, highlighting that under 70% water on Earth, but only 2.5% is drinkable. And for another example, for example, by sharing personal experience from Namibia, you transform statistics into lived reality, so which strengthens the emotional impact on your speech. And your voice and intonations effectively convey emotion and sincerity. I like it so much. Maybe one area to continue improving. One small timing note. Your speed lasted 7 minutes, 7 minutes and 35 seconds. So slightly reduce the length would help you stay within the time limit. Another area to continue improving is your body language. Yet during the speech, only your face was visible, which limited your ability to use gestures. Maybe your positions in your speech is exactly my position right now, and so only a part of my hand is visible. So the audience cannot see your body language, your body movement. And so incorporating more visible body movement would enhance your presence. Yeah, in summary, this was a well-structured, impactful, and persuasive speech with just a little bit more visible body movements. So excellent job, Hannah. I look forward to your next speech. Back to you, DTA. Back to you. General Evaluator, please.
Thank you, Lynn. I felt your excitement from the start, from when you started to speak. And the fact that you quoted what Hannah had said from the beginning, I could tell that you were captivated, and that was well shared or demonstrated in your presentation. You gave us glows again and goals, which is good for the speaker and also for us. I like your voice because there was so much excitement to your voice that's what kept me looking at you and listening to you. What I would also ask you to be mindful of is the time. As you were speaking about Anna's time, and then the red came in and I started panicking for you. But overall, I thought your delivery was well on point. There was not only what you heard and took away, but also how it made you feel, because that was demonstrated in your evaluation. Thank you. And now it is time for Paramjit Singh. A distinguished Toastmaster Paramjit Singh is evaluating our fourth speaker, Joyce Kibe. For Paramjit, leading from within brings authenticity through leadership, allowing people to feel truly connected to a genuine leader. Please help me welcome distinguished Toastmaster Paramjit Singh.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator Guerdah. My laptop is my life. And most of us our life confines to laptop or our mobiles. However, Joyce, Toastmaster Joyce, I am really indebted to you to inspire me to ponder upon what I am doing in my life. I hope it also everyone may be pondering upon the same, what we are doing with our life. Now, unlike others, you turn back to the computer. You switched off the computer and using the same time, not for developing yourself only, but giving back to society in a different way. Helping people, helping ladies, 15 ladies, 14 youth members, church, event planning, football. I think multifaceted and multi-talented person can do that. And switching off the laptop is not easy. You are doing it and doing all this within your time. And now I understand that why people ask you how many hours you have in a day. Now, the thing which stood out of the speech now. The speech was well structured with an engaging opening and hook, starting a question and a statement. Of course, even your name of the speech was also a hook. I thought you are going to speak something about the laptop and life, but you spoke of inspiring us with your experience and the uses of time. Now, a well-prepared and excellent body explaining how you are using your time for development of yourself and your family and your society. Closing with a call of action. And I like one very good thing with most of us, we forget while delivering a speech. You appreciated and acknowledged that you all people are available here, present here, are already doing it, maybe doing it. Not that she's the only one doing it. She's not having an ego. That's wonderful that you appreciated people and then you ask for the call of action. Now for your growth as a speaker, you may consider the following. Number one, eye contact. I felt that your computer level, the level of the camera was little low and you are looking down, and most of the time you're looking down and it was disengaging for everyone. Number two is vocal variety. You can keep the camera at the same eye level. But vocal variety. You had a lot of places, a lot of chances to use the vocal variety, particularly when your friends ask you how many hours you have, or how many times, when you go back home. Hey, when you go back home? And even when you talked about your VPA education, I have VPA education, now I'm helping. There were a lot of chances for vocal variety. And of course, with your good speech, with well-structured speech, and improving upon your eye contact and vocal variety, you are going to become a speaker to reckon with. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Paramjit. You are becoming a speaker to reckon with. That was a beautiful end to the evaluation. I love that you used you were precise in your growth. And from the beginning, you started with the title. We had to pay attention to what you were saying. That was well delivered. And the words that you use, the example that you gave, your voice intonation, that was beautiful. I have nothing else to say. Thank you. And now that we've come to the end of our speakers' evaluations, I would like to ask the timer to share the times in the chat, please. And also, Zoom Master, please launch the poll for the best effort evaluator. Please let me know when the vote has taken place. Perfect, thank you, Zoom Master Jyoti. Okay, now I would like to call on our grammarian. Oh, somebody said they couldn't see the poll.
The poll is still on.
Oh, it's still on.
You should be able to
Okay,
see it.
okay,
Yeah, I haven't closed it.
okay. So let me know when you do that.
Closing now.
Thank you very much. And did we have the time in chat?
Yes, the time is in the chat.
Thank you very much. And now it is my pleasure to call on our grammarian, Nokawe. Nokawe, please, with your report.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. In terms of the use of word for today's meeting, it was used by several speakers, which includes our Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Holmes, Joyce, Buhari, Aminata, TMOD, Toastmaster Debbie, as well as the General Evaluator, Toastmaster Guerdah. In terms of the improper use of the language, I couldn't pick any. So well done to all the speakers. And I've had a lot of outstanding spoken words, sayings, quotes, but that I liked. But I've decided just to pick a few to share with the fellow Toastmasters and guests. The ones that I've liked, firstly, it was, when you are attached to things, you cannot move forward. Secondly, no one can make you inferior without your consent. Thirdly, it is within you, what is within you as you lead. The fourth one, let's build ourselves first before we build others. And lastly, the story begins with a narrative. And in terms of the quotes, I've chosen only these two to share with the members. Stand up straight and realize who you are, that you tower over your circumstances, by Maya Angelou. And water everywhere, nor any drop to drink, by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. And the last one, leadership is not about control, it is about direction. Thank you. Well done to all the speakers. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Nokawe. And now here is the third part, my evaluation of the meeting. We know that our Toastmaster of the day today is Holmes Teng. And we know, because we are self-directed leaders, that Holmes started to prepare way in advance. Although I was planted in the group only this week, but I know that because that's the way Holmes work. Therefore, we know everything was in motion for us to experience the meeting today. Well done. Holmes was well prepared, not only in what happened in the back end, but also his preparation in terms of the theme today as well. I like that Holmes had something to say for most of the speakers. Some speakers, he said, thank you so much. But for some speakers, he said even more. For me, what stood out today, and here is something to perhaps be mindful of. And I know I've said this before, I will say it again. When you are being introduced, there is no need for you to repeat your name as you start to share about what you are going to do. Why? Because we've already heard your name. Therefore, don't spend too much time on this because it's taking away from your time. Timer card. Perhaps we as Toastmaster of the day or whoever is leading that segment, to ask, and I did not do it, but to ask the speaker, the presenter, can you see the timer? That way, perhaps that will have the timer be conscious of the time card and also to bring the speaker to see that the time card is there for them. Because this is something that we do when we have contests. Here is the deeper lesson for me today. An evaluation is repeating back or mirror back, not repeating, mirror back what the speaker has said so that the speaker knows how he or she was received and also what he or she needs to do to be better. Since we are talking about the theme of leading from within, I do believe that perhaps paying attention to the words that we use in evaluation. Instead of using the words, here are my recommendations, use something else. Because leading from within is really to find the human in us. And when we do that within ourselves, we are able to connect with one another. And it is a beautiful interaction because everyone will know that my intent is not to criticize you. My intent is to support you so that, to take the words of Paramjit, so that you become a speaker to reckon with. That's the intent of leading from within. That was my evaluation. Please know that evaluators, you did a wonderful work today. Be mindful of the words that you use. But I believe that each speaker will learn from your observations. I want to also give a special thanks to DTM's Irfan and DTM's Hannah because they took on 2 roles today, which is a true demonstration of a Toastmaster wearing many hats. And I also want to thank everyone who had a role that was not so evident. Our Sergeant at Arms, Yusli, our greeter, EJ, our PR Master, Atul, Zoom Master Jyoti, Timer Angela Brown. As we continue to lead from within, may we go forth. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster, Guerdah, Felix. Having seen both the speaker segment as well as the evaluator segment, we're about to come towards the last few portions of our meeting. And to help us to wrap up our team today is Distinguished Toastmaster Hannah Smith, who will share with us her thoughts of our discussion today. Hannah?
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. Leading from within, our theme for today, means aligning our values with our voice. When we grow in self-awareness, our leadership naturally follows. As the calendar year comes to an end, I intend to reflect on my journey also, not only on my achievements, but also on how I have been leading. Have I been truly leading from within? Am I in line with my core values? Am I responding intentionally or merely reacting just out of habit? Have I found the courage to listen deeply, pause, reflect, and choose my words thoughtfully? These questions are challenging. However, they are vital because leadership starts not with a title, but within us. It is with great joy that I can say I have found that reflective space here at Leadership Speak. Because at Leadership Speak, we practice this kind of leadership every time we take the stage or online in the frame. We learn not only to speak with confidence, but we know how to lead authentically through our stories, our evaluations, and our willingness to grow. Because when leadership is rooted within us, it does not need permission. It naturally inspires, influences, and leads with conviction and credibility. And our two speakers, the Toastmaster of the Day and Irfan, they have definitely demonstrated that today. Reminded us that true leadership starts with self-awareness, knowing who we are and asking others to follow. When we lead with intent and from within, others will follow naturally. Mr. Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Hannah Smith. Members and guests, you have voted for whom you believe as the best effort speaker and evaluator. Let's find out who has the majority of the votes. Our best effort speaker is, give me a moment, Distinguished Toastmaster Aminata Keita. Congratulations, Aminata. And our best effort evaluator is Toastmaster Paramjit Singh. Thank you so much to the both of you for your service to today's meeting. I, as president, am proud of you. Thank you so much. I'd like to take a few moments to speak with the most important people of our chapter meeting, the same people in each and every chapter meeting, the guest. I will be starting with guests who have signed up the guest book. Sona Konate, are you available to speak? If you are, guest, if you are available to speak, please have your cameras on. We'd love to see you and speak with you. Sona Konate, are you available? In case you're not, I'll just quickly move on. If you are, just do a shout out later on. So Sophia Zumaridi. Sophia, are you available to speak? Sophia, I'm moving on. Treka Savadogo. Who is that? Sorry, let me see.
Sophia here. Good evening,
Hi.
Toastmaster.
Hello, Sophia.
And all other fellow Toastmasters. My name is Sophia. I'm currently the treasurer at Zumaridi. And I'm happy to have joined you. I've loved the session. I've learned. I wish everyone a happy holiday season. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Sophia. It's our pleasure to have you here. I saw you indicated that you're currently at level 1. Yes, when you have completed level 3, we welcome you to apply to join to this club. In the meantime, if you're available, come to our meetings. Our meetings are also on YouTube. It's free for everybody around the world to learn from us and also interact with us if there's something of significance we can discuss. Thank you so much, Sophia, for being here today.
I look forward to joining you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Moving on. Trika Savadoko. Trika, if you're available.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure joining this meeting. I saw so many people in world-class roles that it just set the benchmark. I've toured over 50 different clubs, and I'm taking notes like mad this whole meeting. And thank you for role modeling what excellence looks like. And I especially appreciate the theme about self-led leadership. I was in a club where only 3 members showed up, and I was just like, I can't move forward with this, like you don't want it bad enough. And so, but on the opposite side, there was another meeting that I was in this week where a woman had a baby over the weekend and she was timer on Thursday. And so I'm like, the contrast was huge. So anyway, thank you for role modeling excellence here. And truly, this is the place where leaders are made. And it's extraordinary to see it actually role modeled. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Trika. I'll make a mention because you did give us permission on your. Let me just see what the form that you fill in. Did you give us permission to share this part? Yes, you said you're comfortable in sharing this publicly. Members, by the way, Trika is a TEDx speaker. So now we have a TEDx speaker here to witness and to testify that we are excellent. Well done, members. Thank you so much, Trika.
Can I share something fun? I didn't have anything to do with this, but my TEDx talk is on TED.com, and fewer than 1% of all TEDx talks make it onto the TED.com website. So it's super fun, and if anybody wants to look it up, it's been translated into 15 languages, and it's called Why You Should Regularly Talk with Strangers. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Trika. It's our pleasure to have you here today, and yes, we will connect. Moving on to some of the other guests. Tony Ward, are you available to speak?
Hello, Toastmaster today. I enjoyed the meeting so much, and watching you as Toastmaster today, I was very impressed. The General Evaluator has my heart. I love hearing the feedback from the General Evaluators, always on point in the evaluators. And the most important part I heard was we don't spoon feed our leaders here. That's right. Push them on out there. I love that. I'm ready to grow. I am from District 36, and I am with a club, a lot of new members, but I feel I'm not growing myself. I am a distinguished Toastmaster, but I do love helping new Toastmasters, but I think it's time for me to grow as well. So I am very interested in joining the club and probably won't be able every single week, but I would like to come to the club and grow. And John Ojefu invited me quite some time ago, Distinguished Toastmaster John. So that's how I got here.
Ah, recommendation from John. Tony, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for expressing your interest in joining the club. Let me see. I don't think you have signed up on the guest book yet. I'll privately message you the link as well as my contact details, and then we can catch up again after that. Are you okay with that, Tony?
Yes, sound like a plan.
Thank you so much, Tony. I'll text you in a while. Nabanita Ghosh, would you like to share some comments? May not be available. No worries. Okay, I know that the time here, we are almost at 2.5, going to a 3 hours meeting. I'd like to give some concluding comments, and then I will close this chapter meeting. After that, we can still have a post meeting where members and guests, if you're available, feel free to hang on for a while. We can continue to have a discussion. Members and guests, every single week at Leadership Speak, our goal is to treat it as if it is an open house. Hence, every single member, you are challenged to bring your very best in every single meeting. And I want to clarify this, because along the way, I know, what does best mean? We have a lot of standards. What does that mean? Best does not mean perfection. Best does not mean perfection. In fact, if you already mastered every single thing in Leadership Speak, including coaching others and mentoring others, I'm concerned. Because Toastmasters International is an educational institution. If you're not growing, if you're not learning as president, I'm deeply concerned. We gotta challenge you harder. So every single week, what you want to do is to recognize some of your strengths and weaknesses that your evaluators, your mentors, and your coaches have pointed out to you. And see, you decide, as self-directed leaders, you decide. And guys, I know you're listening this, even if you're still considering to join the club or you may have other commitments, I welcome you to take this. You decide, as mature adults, as self-directed leaders, what you want to work on. Reach out to the people who can help you, support you, challenge you. Work with them. And week after week, improve yourself so that multiple months or even years down the road, be it whether you're in Leadership Speak or anywhere else, make sure you are becoming a better version of yourself, chosen and defined by yourself. And with that, you also become a better leader from within. Thank you so much. So now I'll come to you in a short moment. I'd like to close off this chapter meeting. Zoom Master, you may stop the recording as well as the live streaming.